Hey, what's going on? I want to do the next accountability meeting on open houses and return on investment. So let's talk about what we do before we do open houses. We've done a good job over the last several months on hosting open houses. I think we did a really good job on setting up our display and getting our open house kit in order. But the next part of this puzzle is to start doing the things that you need to do before the open house that's going to attract more business, going to get more leads and get more connections. And it's something that I think that is a big opportunity that we're not utilizing. We're not leveraging this open house to get more business to prospects, specifically circle prospecting. So let's talk a little bit about this, and we're going to end with encouraging you to download the Open House Playbook if you don't have it from when I handed it out several weeks ago, and really doing the before steps. In all reality, these are the most important things that you should be doing. So, why? Why are we doing this stuff? So, hosting an open house is not just about showing up on Sunday. Skipping the preparation steps drastically reduces your return and weakens your brand. If you don't follow the full process, especially the before activities, you're leaving money and listings on the table. And I would say you're leaving a lot of money and a lot of listings on the table. If you don't do the before steps, you may as well not do the open house. And I really believe that. So, we pride ourselves on not being those agents that just put the open house on MLS, sit at the dining room table and let the buyers see it, right? So why are we different? We say we're different in our listing presentations. We say our open house program is a huge differentiating factor in hiring us compared to others. So are we doing these before steps that we committed to do as we go up to this open house? And I think if we all look at ourselves in the mirror, we're going to say, no, we're not doing what we committed to do. So we got to change our mindset, right? So your open house is your storefront. You're literally going to be representing the seller and setting up your storefront. People are willingly coming to your open house to talk to you. So why not do things prior to get as many people in that open house as possible? So be prepared, stocked, marketed. No one will shop there, right? So if you don't have these things, no one's going to shop there. No one's going to have that good experience. No one's going to have that different experience that we pride ourselves on doing. So prospecting doesn't start on Sunday, right? At best, some of us are maybe putting a couple door hangers the day of the open house, but it really starts on Monday. So one of the things that we try to do, and it's not always possible in this market because homes don't last as long as they do in prior markets, but to pre-schedule your open houses weeks in advance. But at the very least, you should know by Monday what open houses you're doing and set up a circle prospecting activity checklist on what you're going to be doing to do that. So it starts the Monday before that weekend open house. Every open house has multiple purposes. One of the things that we want to focus on in this meeting is the lead gen part of it. So marketing, branding is really important too. When you're posting it on social media and you're sending it out to your entire database through My Weichert, you're branding yourself. You're showing people that you're busy and that you are a neighborhood expert that can handle their real estate needs if they have one. If you're not doing these things, you're not getting in front of those people. It also builds trust with sellers. So if you're doing this constantly on every open house you're doing, you're going to build trust. They're going to feel like they know you, even if they did not have an interaction with you in the past. And you control the results committing to the process. This stuff works. Open houses work, and it's a huge lead generator. It's a huge branding opportunity, and it's a huge marketing opportunity that you can leverage and utilize to try to drive more business and try to drive more traffic to that open house. So you should really have these non-negotiables, these before activities that are completely non-negotiable. We talk about the most important appointment that you have is the one with yourself. So if you set that open house on Monday, right, and your before activities start on Monday, you should have a checklist throughout that week that are non-negotiables, things you do without fail. Just as important as showing up to the open house, these activities are equally important. So secure the opportunity by Monday, okay? Preview the property, maybe even do a little selfie video, something like that. Set up the My Weichert Open House app. These are some ideas that you can do, but the playbook is going to get in depth on things you absolutely should do for these before steps. Create a sign-in process. So what does your sign-in process look like? Prepare display and info packets. What are you giving away? Are you providing some information on the neighborhood? maybe upcoming events? Are you providing tax information, school information, whatever that might be? Your consultation flyers. I love the one that talks about asking me for an appointment. And a buyer consultation, consultation can save you tons of time and money. So, what does your display look like? Are you using those little property cards that using masking tape and putting them throughout the house? The amount of compliments that we get on the agents that use them, including myself, is insane. By other agents, by buyers, by potential sellers who are neighbors. They absolutely love that. Are we doing that? So the marketing and prospecting, I think this is the biggest opportunity and the one that we are not utilizing as much. So what about the listing playbook in My Weichert? So you go to My Weichert, you go to playbooks, and you have a listing playbook. It's going to include digital ads. Are we doing squeeze pages? Buyer matching. So your system, your My Weichert system, will look at that listing that you're hosting the open house on, look at the price point, the area, the bedrooms, that sort of stuff, and we'll sort through the entire CRM using search alerts and which search alerts are attached to those prospects and actually match buyers. And now you can send a customized email to those 10, 20, 30 buyers that my Weichert deems as a match. That's play number 6 in the Weichert Open House Playbook. Create a flyer through my marketing studio, play 14. Maria can help us out with that. If you wanted to design your own, I think that's a great way of customizing it the way you want it. Set up a Facebook event. Uh, a Facebook event is going to show up organically on people's newsfeed. And if people are liking your posts, if you're doing the 10, 10, 5 constantly, you are going to be seen with that event. Your event's going to be displayed on many people's newsfeed. Call 30 neighborhood homes. So look at public records, use Call Realty, however you get those lists. We need to call a minimum of 30 homes, inviting them to an open house, seeing if they have questions, letting them know that there might be traffic. And here's my cell phone number if you have any concerns or any issues during the open house. So that's something, play number 2. This is something that we absolutely have to do. Mail the engaged neighbors with testimonial letters, right? So any neighbors that might have a decent conversation, or even after the open house they come, send a testimonial letter of a prior client who was happy with your services, maybe one that mentioned your open house program. Invite 3 top listing prospects to the video with video. So invite people to the open house using the video. There's lots of different things. If you see that one's number 56. So if you look in this open house playbook, there's going to be a lot of ideas. What is going to be your non-negotiables, the things that you do without fail on every single open house you do? You need to place your open house signs, at least 8 open house signs with either balloons, flags, you have those wind wheels or something like that. What are you going to do to get attention to those signs? And there's different ideas that you could Google. Be knowledgeable. So part of your before tasks are going to be getting knowledge of the area, the house, whether or not it has gas, things like that. You're going to want to be an expert in certain questions that are probably going to be asked. You should have an answer for that. Study RPR market trends. Look up the market absorption rate in that price point in that specific area. Pull a list of competing homes and recent closings. Doing these things, it doesn't take a whole lot of work beforehand, but it's going to differentiate yourself when you're speaking to that buyer, that you're different, that you know what you're doing. And if they're going to 3 or 4 different open houses, yours is going to feel different, and you're going to be that knowledge broker that they did not experience at those other open houses. Practice your open house script and objection handling. Use ChatGPT for that if you want to. Prompt it that you're going to be hosting an open house. Maybe you know a little bit about the house and some of the feedback that the house got. Put that in the prompt and say, I want to role play. Know your differentiators. So home highlights, neighborhood perks, pricing data. What makes this house different? Why would somebody want to buy this house? And that should be something that you're going to discuss during the home tour. So there's certain questions that you're going to want to ask yourself. Are you happy with your before steps? So everyone here that's watching this probably has done an open house before. Are you happy with your Monday through Friday that you prospected before that open house? Do you think that you did all those non-negotiables? Do you even have those non-negotiables in your calendar or in a checklist? You really got to look yourself in a mirror and say, this is an opportunity. There's many agents in this nation, this island, this county, this town that don't have opportunities to do open houses. So are you doing the things you need to do to generate leads, to brand yourself, and to market yourself? How many neighbors did you personally contact last week? So if you are doing open house, how many neighbors did you contact? We say we have a minimum of 30. Why not use this as an opportunity to go after 60, right? Use door hangers, maybe 30 calls, 30 door hangers. You really need to ask yourself what your goal is in this open house and what your goal is in properly marketing it and doing these before steps to generate leads. Did you run a digital playbook or use my Weichert tools? What tools do you have access to? So you could go to Weichert University, hit the open house tile, and see what kind of marketing is available for you. Ask me. Have you previewed and prepared the home display area, the sign-in system, the open house kit? As you do these open houses and you're constantly thinking about getting better and better and better at these things, it's going to be much easier to prepare for them. But you have to set the tone early and you have to prepare so that way each time you're going to improve on it. An open house kit, an open house system, open house prospecting the week before, it's not something that you set and forget. It's something that you do, you practice, and you add to it, you adjust it, you tweak it, ultimately to make your open house program yours within the Weichert systems. So open up my Weichert, go to Weichert University, search for the Open House Playbook, and work on those before steps. Work on a checklist of things you're going to do without fail, non-negotiable things that you're going to do leading up to the open house that's going to drive you more business, attract sellers, attract neighbors, and attract more clients. And if you don't do that, again, you might as well not do the open house. I think you could do it. I know you could do it. Reach out if you have any questions, and let's do these before steps every single time before you do an open house.